Hi, my name is Jessica from Emmanuella Photos Gallery. I major in wedding photography. I do portraits as well, but my main focus is wedding photography. Photography is everything to me. I love capturing moments. I feel like that's very important to me. Capturing moments that, you can easily let slip off your mind. If you're not, careful, it can slip out of your mind, I feel like, when I'm taking pictures of my couples, those in-betweens when no one is paying attention, it's very important that your camera is always ready so you can capture those moments, because usually those moments are the moments when the couple are the realest, and those are the memories that you want to keep forever. Those moments, and those are the memories that you want to look back on, during challenging times, when times are pretty, when times are sad, just any time basically, when you look back, and see those pictures. I feel like those are the most important to me, and that's what makes photography alive for me. That's what makes it important, that you're capturing, those moments or those things, because obviously everyone's heart is, directed towards something. It depends on the person, or each client and everything, So yeah, that's what's important to me. Okay, so just because we're talking about a click moment, there's this shot that I captured in 2014, I think, or 15, I'm not sure. But one of my classmates from Bible school, she called me to do her pictures. That was in Brookshire, Texas. She has this huge ranch down there. It's so beautiful. It was an outdoor wedding and everything. She had a first look, so herself and her husband, meeting each other for the first time before they say I do. So they had that first look moment, and then right after that, they were just, in their moment. No one was meant to pay attention to them. Nobody was meant to pay attention. And I just looked and I saw them and I was like, wow. I just loved the chemistry that was going on, in that moment. And that's something I always look to capture, when I'm shooting my brides and my grooms. Yeah, I always look to capture, that click moment of intimacy and just rawness, and, no one is paying attention or anything. And I just saw the way he was staring into her eyes, and I saw the way she was holding his face, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. And I took a couple of shots, click, 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 click. It was just, the moment was just raw. It was just awesome. So I took the shot, and a year later on, she posted the picture on Facebook, and she was like, I was just randomly scrolling through my pictures, and I just stopped at this shot. And she started tearing up. That's what she said. I started tearing up, like, wow, this picture captures the love that Moni has for me. And I was so blown away, because that's what I look to capture anytime I'm shooting my clients. I want to capture that love, that intimate moment, that energy, that they're pouring into themselves when I'm, during the day or during the wedding day, so that 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 15 years from now, 100 years from now, they can look back on that moment and be like, oh my gosh, this is the reason why I married you, because of those emotions, those hard, feelings that I was feeling at that moment. That's the reason why I said yes to you. So that picture is definitely my click moment, yes. Yeah, they had a few, they did give me a few things that they wanted, so I captured that. But I feel like what really blew them away were the intimate moments in between, when they weren't really paying attention. Just because it was real, yeah. Emotional? Of course, when they were together, anytime they were together, they were just lost in each other. It blew me away, yeah. Anytime they were together, yeah, that was my favorite time. Location was very clean. It was very simple. Texans are really clean and simple people, so I just loved that about the wedding. It was really clean. It was really simple. They had huge oak trees. That's where the union was. Right under their big oak tree. So I just loved how simple it was. They had a few drapings of flowers and everything from the tree, but it was really simple and clean. So yeah, it was a very clean, simple, intimate wedding. That's what I loved about it. And they had this, I don't know if you've watched Cinderella before. So they had this secret love garden at the other side of their house. And we captured some other intimate moments in there. So I feel like those two things really blew me away. Yeah. Basically, I started from university. I was a fashion blogger before, and I don't know, I kind of like got into this world, of photography while I was fashion blogging. I really had goals and everything, to be a top fashion blogger in Texas. But I kind of fell in love with photography, and then I started shooting, natural things, nature. Yeah, that's the word. I started shooting nature, like birds, trees, and all of that. And then I left school and went into Bible school for a year. And I started, shooting people. So they called me into the media department. They called me into the media department, which is called YBB. And I would shoot all of their conferences, all of their programs, all of the school portraits, the presidents, everything, just everything that was going on. I shot everything. And from there, my sister's roommate, I have a twin sister, her roommates asked me to shoot their graduation pictures. I shot their graduation pictures. Everyone loved it, and they were screaming, and they were like, "Oh, okay." And other people asked me to shoot theirs, so I shot theirs. And then from there, you get married later on down the future or down the line. And I shot most of their weddings, or most of the girls' weddings that I shot while I was in Bible school. And from there, that's kind of like how Emmanuella Photos Gallery started. Yeah. My next wedding is Dorothy and Gilly, DG. So they were photographers as well with me at school. So they asked me to, take pictures for them. Of course, I said yes, I would. I came in. It was in San Antonio, Texas. They're Mexicans. I came in to San Antonio. It was really pretty. I love the decor. The decor was simple as well. It was in a barn type setting. You'll see a picture of it with the white chairs and the little shaft house. I think that's what it's called. I'm not too sure. That's where the joining was in there. They'd been dating for 8 years before they got married. They were really simple as well, but obviously a lot more out there than Jenny and Moni. My click moment actually was when both of them, they kind of had a first look, but it wasn't a first look. It was a prayer kind of thing. So they came to each other at a specific location of the building, and they held hands and they were praying together. And I saw Gilly crying. I saw Gilly crying. And Dorothy was okay. She was okay, but Gilly was just lost. Yeah, I think that's my click moment about Dorothy and Gilly. That was my click moment. Their attention to detail. Yeah. They were really clean and simple as well. It was a barn wedding. But they were very specific. You know, they wanted the details of the decor and everything captured. So I made sure I captured all of that stuff for them. So yeah, that's what I liked about them. I got emotional during the union. I think during the union I got emotional, a tad bit emotional. I don't know, maybe because I had been with them for years, so their love was on display everywhere. You know, they're kind of like out there and everything, you know. But I believe when they went during the union, when they were putting the sand thing together, I don't know if they do that here in Nigeria, you know, where the bride has a sand and then a sand bottle, and then the groom has a sand bottle, and they're two different colors, and they pour it in together, and then they take communion right afterwards. I feel like that was really, really emotional, yeah, for me. Yeah. All of her friends and family were there. Like I said earlier, Texas weddings or Texan weddings, well, the ones I've shot anyways, they're really, really simple people. They're really down to earth, really, really simple people. Yeah, really, really simple people. Maybe when I get to the Nigerian weddings, then, you know, we'll have a little spicy something there. But yeah, it was really simple and clean, yeah. Really simple and clean, yeah. Really reserved, because I believe their family helped plan the wedding. So it was really simple, yeah. So my photography journey. I was in Abilene, Texas for school at ACU. And then I pulled out for a year to go to Bible school. But before I pulled out from there, I was into fashion blogging. Myself and my twin sister, Joy, we would do fashion blogging on Tumblr and all of that stuff. And, you know, during the course of that, I, you know, fell in love with photography, obviously, because you need a camera to get pictures of, you know, your new looks and everything. So started falling in love with photography, you know, taking pictures of nature, taking pictures of trees, animals, the sky, sunsets, sunrises. Oh my gosh, butterfly effect, dude. When butterflies, you know, their season, you know, when they come out, you know, in their season, I remember taking pictures of those during the sunrise. But from school, I went into Bible school and I learned how to use the camera manually. So where I don't need to use a flash and all of that stuff, because I'm a natural light photographer. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. I do shoot mainly with natural light, and when I do use studio light, I try to make it look as natural as possible. External lights, I try to make it look as natural as possible. So when I went to Bible school, I learned how to use the camera manually. And I shot all of their events, like their parties, their conferences, the students, you know, yearbook pictures, just everything. I shot everything, their parties, everything. I shot everything. And from there, my friends, my sister's roommates, they would see those pictures and they're like, wow, okay. Is it okay if you would shoot us as a room? We're about to graduate. Is it okay if you would shoot us? So I agreed, obviously, you know, why wouldn't I? So I shot them, and then other roommates, you know, other rooms saw their pictures and were like, oh, hey, could you shoot ours? And I'm like, yes, of course I would. So I shot theirs, and then from there, you know, the wedding window just opened up to me. So that would call me, you know, some girls from other rooms that I didn't even, you know, shoot, you know, that, hey, I loved your stuff. Is it okay if you come down and shoot my wedding, you know, and stuff? So I started shooting from there, shot in San Antonio, in Houston, and Dallas as well. Yeah, so I've done a little bit of traveling here and there because of the photography. So I was in Houston for 7 years, and then after 7 years, I moved back. To Nigeria, and then I started shooting here in Nigeria. So yeah, and every once in a while, obviously, when I go back to Houston, some family, some friends, or even people that come to the country for vacation, to Houston for vacation, they would, hey, could you come shoot us, you know, family portraits and all of that. So I would come down, you know, go down to their location and shoot, their family. Mm-hmm. Yewande and Bemi, yes. Okay. Click moment was when she got to the altar and she started crying. You know, because she was really calm, she was really cool and everything, like while she was getting ready. I got shots of that, obviously, you know, while she was getting ready. She was really calm and clean, and you wouldn't have suspected that she would get emotional at all, you know, but when she got to the altar and she saw him and, you know, the reality of what was going on really hit her, that's when she started crying. So I believe my click moment was when she got to the altar and she was saying her vows. And yeah, I have a shot of that. She was crying. That really, really hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, Yewande, she looks so sweet. Yeah, yeah. I would say the noise of, you know, everything, you know, the hustle and bustle, because obviously I wasn't the only photographer, you know, there was another photographer that was there with me. There were other videographers. I think there were 2 or 3 videographers, I'm not too sure. But in the midst of all of that, you know, they were still, their minds and their souls were still interconnected, if that makes any sense. They weren't too distracted by, you know, all the noise and all of that stuff. You know, they were really focused on the ceremony and, you know, each other, you know. So I really love that about that wedding, that specific wedding, yeah. I spoke directly with the couple. Actually, funny enough, it was her aunt that I met, and I was like, hey, I'm a photographer. You know, if you need any services, just holler at me and stuff. And she checked out my stuff and she was like, wow, this is really good. Are you into like landscapes and all of that? Which is where I originally started from. I'm like, yeah, I can do that for you, but that's not my major thing, you know. And she was like, okay, well, my niece is getting married in a couple of, you know, months. You know, I'd like to gift, you know, your services to her, because she went on my website and she really loved it. So she kind of like just gave Yewande to me, hey, just talk and everything. So we spoke about what she wanted. She told me, you know, the moments that are very important to her, what she wants to capture and everything, and I made sure I captured all of that for her. So yeah, I got the instructions from her basically, yeah. Every Nigerian photographer's problem, fighting with the other photographer, trying to, you know, loop around and like get that perfect shot and everything, you know. Obviously having a couple of other photographers there was a bit challenging. I think that was really challenging for me when I moved back here to Nigeria, shooting with other people, because I had been used to just shooting by myself and it was really free and everything. But I would say shooting with other photographers, you know, but as time went on, or as time goes on, you know, you learn how to like adjust and just flow with them. Okay, if they're shooting on this way, shoot this way. I mean, there are even sometimes I give, you know, my camera to the photographer and I'm like, hey, could you help me get that shot? This is so weird, but my twin sister taught me that, hey Jess, you know, how about you guys partner with each other, you know, that kind of thing. So I would hand the camera to them once in a while, hey, could you help me get click, 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 and they would get shots for me. So yeah, but a challenging moment for me was working with other photographers, yeah. Yeah, just, you know, the hustle and bustle, you know, yeah. Okay, I love the decor. The decor was really, really sweet. It had this Gatsby theme to it, the white flowers or whatever. I really like that, and I love the candles as well. They had trees with droplets of crystals and doves in them, so I really loved that, yeah. I think the decor really, yeah, stood out to me, yeah. So something that's distinct about me is natural light. I love natural light. I love big windows. I love natural light. I hate the flash, but you know, you have to use the flash, you know, because of the settings, the type settings of, you know, the wedding and everything. But that's what's different about my photography. I feel like, you know, the natural light, one, the airiness, two, the intimate moments, those are very powerful for me. I feel like that's what speaks, that speaks loudly for me with my photography. Those intimate, raw moments, you know, heartfelt moments, those are Yeah, that's really distinct about me. And then the details. I'm a big detail girl. I love details. I love them shoes. I love them bags. I love them earrings. I love the rings. You know, so yeah, that's what's distinct about me. So yeah. Okay, so another wedding was Dinachi and Onu. Okay, so Dinachi and Onu, they saw my stuff on Bella Niger. Bella Niger, you know, published one of Dorothy and Gilly's pictures. That was the intimate moment of them holding hands and crying, you know, when they weren't seeing each other. So she saw that picture and she booked me on Instagram. So she flew in the next day to take her engagement pictures. So we did that, and it was awesome. It was an intimate moment. We took those pictures at Echo Hotel. Really, really quiet, the trees, serenity, everything. It was just a perfect moment. And of course, I loved how they were lost in each other's arms. I'm sorry, but if you see those pictures, those guys are in love, like seriously. Seriously, I captured those for them, and she wanted me to take pictures of her wedding day. Well, unfortunately, or fortunately for her, her parents had already booked another photographer, but she was like, you know, I still want you to come in and take those pictures for me. You know, so I came in and I took some pictures for her. I didn't stay throughout all the ceremony, but she wanted some shots of the wedding, of her and her husband. So yeah, my click moment in that wedding was when she came in. I don't know, the lighting was just perfect. The lighting, everything was perfect. She's an Igbo bride. So I just got a shot of her, and I don't know, I just loved how timeless it was. I feel like you can see that picture on any international cover, basically, you know, just because of how bright and airy she looked. She was so calm, she was so peaceful. I mean, it was noisy and everything, but she was like, you know, she was just in her zone, you know, like she was gonna meet her man, you know, and everything. And I just loved how I captured that. So yeah. That was my click moment, her entrance, yes. I did love their decor. They had lanterns as the center table for the wedding, for the traditional wedding. So that was really different. It was really artistic. And she's a musician, actually, a folk musician in the UK. You know, so I feel like her artistic, you know, self was really expressed in the decor of that wedding. You know, there was a bicycle on the side, you know, of the stage. There was a bicycle, there were hats at the back. I really loved the decor. The decor really, it was so unique. I've never seen, you know, that kind of, you know, expression before in a traditional wedding. So I really, really loved that. It was really cool. I liked it, yeah. Nigerian weddings, they're very expressive with their culture. And it's a good thing. I love that, you know, in the midst of trying to be modern, you know, they're still keeping their heritage. They're still able to keep that heritage. I know for Dinachi's wedding, that was really loud down there in her own wedding, you know, their heritage, where they come from and everything. Like, you could imagine the huts that were there in, you know, in her village and all of that, you know, in that kind, in the setting and everything, you know. Wedding number 5. Eniola's wedding. That was a big wedding. That's the biggest wedding I've ever shot before. It was a huge wedding. But, you know, funny enough, you know, there was no hustle and bustle with the other photographers. Yeah, it was really good, actually. There was no hustle and bustle. Everyone was really calm. Actually, I've shot with the main photographer that shot at that wedding. I've shot with him before. I've shot with him before at a previous wedding or at another wedding, you know, so everything went smoothly, really. Everything went smoothly. My click moment was when they were dancing. Yes, I love the ambience of the decor, the lighting, everything, the roof. It was just breathtaking. The drapings and everything, it was amazing. Sarah O Events, yes, she was the decorator. She did an amazing job. I loved how I was able to incorporate, obviously their moment, but also the ambience, the decor, the feel of the entire event, in one shot. So yeah, something that was distinctive about the couple was that her husband was a giant. Oh my gosh, he looked like a basketball star. His height was amazing. And I mean, to be able to capture that in the frame, still get the decor and everything, and it was, I used a prime lens when I was shooting that, my 50mm when I shot that, got that picture. I feel like that was really distinct. I don't know. It was really beautiful. It was pretty. Back in Houston, you get one photographer, but in Nigeria, like the mom side of the bride has a photographer, the dad side, I think sometimes the aunts as well have photographers. I mean, the wedding industry in Lagos is crazy, yo. It's crazy. It's really crazy. But yeah, that was fascinating for me. That was quite amusing, if you ask me, yeah, about the wedding, yeah.